Younger. Sit down and talk about the show's exciting and scandalous new season.
Running the world before we're 30!
Truth is water.
Can you keep a secret?
It's about to go down.
The longer it went on, the harder it became to tell you the truth.
Wow.
Now, from the SiriusXM studios in New York City, this is a town hall with the cast of TV Land's Younger. Here's your host, Taylor Streckor.
Hey guys, hey girl, hey boys, hey, I'm Taylor Streckor. I'm the host of Wake Up with Taylor on SiriusXM Stars, and right now, you guys, I'm so excited. Welcome to our SiriusXM Town Hall with the entire cast of Younger. Big round of applause for that. Thank you. I want to be making a lot of noise because this show is so much fun. First of all, I am addicted to the show. I am obsessed with you guys. I really can't pick who's my favorite. I feel like I am each one of you in a special way. Fine, it's Miriam. It's Miriam. But you guys are going to have so much fun today and delve in. And here's the thing, though. So a lot of these people have not seen episode 4 yet. I have. You have. And
Wait, you've seen episode 4?
Actually, sorry. Episode 1 of season 4. Actually, I do have them all, but I haven't watched them because I don't want to get ahead of anything. Have you seen them all?
What?
Season 4 of Younger.
You have season 3. You have 1 through 3.
I have 4.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 of
Okay,
season 4.
she's going to moderate
I have
Facebook
season 4.
Live.
Yes, you have
We're not
one.
even done shooting season 4.
I have no control over this.
We're dying to see it.
Is someone going to get fired because of what I just said?
Yeah.
Darren?
Maybe.
Yes?
No. Who's going to fire Darren Star?
I mean, I might not have every single one, but I have a lot of them. But I'm pacing myself because I don't want to get too far ahead because I want to be on point. But anyway, point being, I have
she
seen...
backtracks, though? I don't have all of them. I have some of them.
And this is how it's going to go. This is how it's going to go. Episode 1, season 4, I've seen it. You guys lived it. And it's really shocking. So I want to delve into it a bit, but not too much because I don't want to ruin it for everybody who has yet to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So
appreciate that.
first things first, before we get into anything, okay, there's a lot of you guys. Quite frankly, I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself to everybody because, well, they need to recognize your voice with your name. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's start with you, Sutton.
Hi, I'm Sutton Foster. I play Liza Miller.
Yeah.
Lots of noise.
My name is Nico Tortorella, and I play Josh, who doesn't have a last name.
Like Madonna.
That's the thing. Fans can write in what they think his last name is.
Interesting.
Cool for a last
Like
name.
Cher, just Josh.
Hello, I'm Hillary Duff, and I play Kelsey Peters.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Molly Bernard, and I play Lauren Heller.
I'm Debbie Mazur, and I play Maggie D'Amato. I got a last name this year. Amato.
Close.
Amato. D'Amato. No, Amato.
I'm Peter Herman, and I play Charles Brooks.
Yes. I'm Miriam Shore, and I play Diana Trout.
Yes.
I'm Darren Star, and I'm the creator and executive producer.
Yes, you are, Darren. Darren, we're going to start with you. You are a hit maker. I mean, seriously. Melrose Place, 90210, Sex and the City, and Younger. How do you do it?
One at a time.
One at a time. Is there like a common theme between each one, in your opinion, that makes it such a huge success?
I think they all share amazing casts. I think that's really, really important. You got to be blessed with a wonderful cast, and I think the cast and the shows they create a sense of family. I think the characters create a sense of family that the viewers just love to spend time with.
Yeah. Well, job well done. I mean, do you ever reach a point where you're like, I can't possibly have one more hit?
Well, you don't know about hit, but I mean, it's one day at a time. It's one show at a time. So
How many more do you think you have in you?
I don't know. I got bills to pay, so let's hope there's another one.
Like that. Okay, well, speaking of the family that is the cast, you guys are all so wonderful, so talented, very close, I hear. When it came to picking the cast, I have to ask you, did you have Sutton already in mind? Because she is the perfect Liza.
Honestly, it's like I have been a Sutton Foster fan from way back, and one of the sort of perks of having done a couple hit shows, you get to hopefully choose the people you get to work with.
Yes.
And Sutton was somebody that I really, really wanted to work with. So, first of all, I had no idea that she could possibly be old enough for the role. But when I heard she might be, I thought we sent her the script. That was my first shocker. And I thought, well, in that case, she's perfect because who would ever have any idea?
Yeah, right.
And then we met and we had a really wonderful lunch.
Well, that is a question I have for you. The first question, and it's so stupid, but how do you look so young?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think
figured
so.
you would say
know,
that. Genetics.
No, I feel like I'm a youthful soul. Like, and I was a late bloomer. Even like at 16, I was a young 16. At 25, I was a young 25. So even at 42, I'm like, I still feel like I'm 20. You know, I still feel like I've still got a lot to figure out.
Yes.
Like, and I think that I look at life with a lot of youthful optimism. I'm a bit naive still feel very green. You know, I don't feel very jaded and
what does that
cynical.
feel like? Time in New York City, right?
You know, so I think that has kept me young. You know, I'm a bit of a puppy girl, puppy dogs and rainbows type of gal.
And you eat babies, right?
I eat babies.
I thought so. Yes.
You know, it's terrible. But I don't know. I think youth. The idea of youth kind of comes from within. And it's sort of like how you look at life. You know, you can sort of let life drag you down, and I think that can make you. You know, the weight of the world. That can age
totally
you, I
screwed.
guess.
Well, you guys, we're going to get into a lot of the themes of Younger a little bit later on. But I do want to talk about with you guys starting off. Okay, so what was it like to work with Darren Star? For anybody speak up. I mean, were you guys excited, intimidated, overwhelmed?
Every time he came on
question.
set,
Nope.
I think we all were like, "Ooh, Darren's here." I still feel that way.
I still feel that way, too.
Season 4, I was like, "Darren's on set. Oh God." I've worked with him on a show right before called GCB. Which stood for Good Christian.
It was amazing. FYI.
Bitches.
Bitches.
Yes.
Bitches. And so I got to know Darren that way, and I loved working with him. So the first inkling of an opportunity to work with him again, I was like, yes, where are we going? I don't care. I'm in. Sign me up. Yep, doing it. What do I wear? I don't care. Let's go.
I love it. Molly, I saw you getting excited over there.
Yes, I was excited. I was very excited. Darren started my career. So Darren is like my fairy godmother, angel man. And he really, you know, I had 6 lines in the pilot, and he was like that one. And totally gave me like the greatest gift and believed in me and has given me like the coolest character.
Oh yeah, Lauren is dope.
I think you walked in and basically nailed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're like, we got to have this girl back.
Thank you. I do have to say there was a funny anecdote because I'm still afraid of Darren.
By the way, can I tell you something? Molly, I'm a little afraid of you too.
That's folly. We were at the gym in Austin a couple weeks ago, and I didn't say hi to him. I was like we were a machine and a half away from each other, and I was like, and I was texting Hillary. I was like, Darren is one machine over.
Say hi. Wait, you know what it is? It's like when you see a teacher outside of school, and you're like, I can't say hi to Mrs. Fangle-Dangle.
Yes, it was totally Mrs. Fangle-Dangle. I was like, I can't say hi to her. I can't do it.
Yeah, for the radio audiences who can't see Darren, like, he's incredibly intimidating.
Really, really scary. I'm a scary dude.
I have to tell you that when I got the phone call, my agent was like, "So Darren Star's gonna call you," and I was like, "What? He's gonna what? On my cell phone? I don't. Like, what? And tell me what?" He was like, "I have this like role for you, and blah blah blah," and I was like, "Yes, I did what you did." Like this, and by the way, we're all making him out to seem scary. He is our boss, but he's the best. The boss. And he's just like, I think for all the women on the show,
Paid quite well.
but we're so lucky to work for someone who knows how to just nail women's characters and make people relate and feel when they need to feel and laugh when they need to laugh. Like, and it's all in the scripts. Like, it's all written for us, and we have to just find it. It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that was surprising about working this closely with you, you know, when you and we did a show together briefly a while ago, Kashmir Mafia, but someone takes on a persona, and this persona of producer and creator, and I'm so taken with the fact that at heart you're a writer and an artist, and I think I didn't have that experience so much previously before this show, and I think that's such a beautiful thing to be around. What a authentically creative spirit you are, and that you have to be in order to have. It's hard enough to have one show hit, but a track record like that is really it's really something.
Darren, how do you write women so well? To steal a line from As Good as It Gets.
I know a lot of them, and I kind of think of them as people.
Okay, but you get in trouble for saying something like that these days.
You think of women as people?
I think of women as people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a new concept. I think it's going to take over.
No, I think it's a job of a writer to really just identify with any character, and sometimes it's easier to step outside and not be that person. It's like, I don't know that I can write about myself, but I can write about other people's lives. I can identify with the struggle of a woman who is sort of like aged out of the job market and has to basically lie to get her way back in. I can kind of like put myself in those shoes in a way, even though, I'm not that person, but I think that's the job of a writer, is to sort of like imaginatively go there.
I'm sorry to put you in this position, but is there any one character that you most identify with?
Yeah, probably Laura.
All of them. No, yeah. You know why? Because I feel like when you write characters, you have to get in the head of every character you write. Just like an actor has to get inhabit the character they're portraying as a writer. When you're writing characters, you have to get in the head of those characters when you're writing them. So I think you gotta really put a piece of yourself in all of them when it's working.
And something you've been known to do is put a city as a character, right?
Yeah.
And New York is clearly a part of Younger, but it's also Brooklyn. So what's the character? Is it New York? Is it Brooklyn?
I think it's both. I think New York has changed a lot, especially since the days of Sex and the City, when when Miranda moved to Brooklyn and basically she was going to Siberia, and now Brooklyn is like it's sort of like overtaken New York as the 20-something place to be, and I felt like Brooklyn represented that 20-something world. And honestly, it's been a process of discovery for me, because I never spent a lot of time in Brooklyn before doing this show, and it's been a blast to be in Brooklyn and understand it. I didn't really know where it was.
So what Brooklyn was is now what Roosevelt Island is.
What's that?
As we learned, what Brooklyn was is what Roosevelt Island is.
Yes, exactly.
I swear to God, I was looking at buying an apartment on Roosevelt Island. I saw that episode and I was like, I'm not moving there. I don't want to be the bad pancake.
Historically, that's what. But Brooklyn used to be the borough. When the Brooklyn Bridge was built, it was like Brooklyn was it, and Manhattan was like, not so much. Yeah. And now I think we're slowly coming back to that.
Back around there.
Thanks to Darren Star.
Yes. No, Brooklyn happened. This is just sort of like reflecting what's going on.
Yes, and also, Molly, you are a Brooklynite.
I am a Brooklynite.
Yeah,
I love
born and
Brooklyn.
raised, right?
No, I wasn't born in Brooklyn, but my Wikipedia page says I was.
So it lied.
And that's very cool. I was actually born in Las Vegas, so I'm, I guess, a gambling showgirl at heart.
My Wikipedia page says I speak fluent Yiddish.
And?
Let me tell you. I feel like I speak fluent Yiddish daily.
I actually think I do too.
But someone out there wants me to, so I'm just going to get the app and start learning it. I mean, I know plenty, because,
Do they have a Rosetta Stone for that?
Huh?
Do they have a Rosetta Stone for that?
Must, right?
They must. I'll learn with you.
Just go to Brooklyn, by the way, and you can learn Yiddish.
Okay, guys, we have so much more to come. When we get back, we're talking about themes of the show. Big, big, big stuff. You don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the Younger Town Hall.
There's got to be a better ending to us than this.
With host Taylor Streckor.
The best part of hosting a show on the station, the listeners. Hi, this is Taylor.
Hey, I'm Maria Menounos.
This is Jetty Hutt. I really do feel this incredible connection.
Talking to people and hearing their stories.
I am so proud of the listeners. They're everything.
This is SiriusXM Stars.
Now, back to a SiriusXM Town Hall with the cast of Younger. Here's your host, Taylor Streckor.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor Streckor, host of Wake Up with Taylor on SiriusXM Stars. I have the entire cast of Younger with me. Hi guys. Welcome back. Okay, so let's talk about the show itself. So ageism is obviously a huge part of the show Younger. I want to know if anybody has ever had to pull a Liza in real life in their career and lie about their age to get a job. You guys are actors, after
not
all.
Hollywood. There's no ageism in Hollywood.
None,
but I've
no,
heard that
none
there
here?
is in
None
other
whatsoever.
parts of.
But have any of you ever had to actually lie, Molly?
I didn't lie directly, but one time, like when I first started working with my agent, I was auditioning to play like a 16-year-old in a play, which I had just graduated from grad school. I was 25, so already I was too old. But he was like, just go in and don't open your mouth, don't say anything, because they'll know how old you are if you talk. So just go in and go right into the scene. And obviously that was impossible for me, but I didn't get the job, A, and B, I guess that's kind of a lie, but not really.
I've never been able to lie about my age because people have been able to like Google me since I was 9.
Oh my God, Hillary, that's true.
So I'm like trying to get into the club. They're like, we know how old you are.
Oh, don't you try.
Can't happen, sister.
Nico, did you ever have to lie?
No, not.
Because you're a man.
Not for work. Yes. Is that what I am?
So do you see the heart on the end of his nose?
It's a hard nose.
End of his nose
Oh
looks
my
like a heart.
God.
It's a miracle, guys.
Wow.
I'm a Care Bear.
You are a human Care Bear.
and grilled cheese. There's a heart on the end of his nose.
I'm getting one done too. It's been a minute to get one of those.
I'll send you my doctor's phone number.
Also, I mean, we deal with a lot of the millennial generation. What are your thoughts and feelings on millennials in general? Some of you probably are millennials. Some of
I
you.
made the cutoff by a year.
Yeah.
It's 33.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So we made it by.
We're like deep in millennial territory.
Mindset, not an age.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, what do people think of millennials? Like, I don't know.
I mean, generally people think that millennials are entitled. I'm allowed to say that. I'm also a millennial. So, yeah, we have a bad reputation, but I think that this show kind of, it's a different side of the good parts of millennials.
Well, I think it looks at age and ageism.
Yes.
In every form, because I certainly think that we discredit people for their age, no matter what age they are. We discredit them because they're older, and we discredit them because they're younger. We just decide that we pick a number, and we're like, well, this means you can't fill in the blank, you know?
Right.
And instead of taking on whatever their experience is and who they are and what they know and listening to them. So, you know, we like to categorize them and box people into little,
we do.
you know, areas and decide they're all this and they're all that. And, you know, I think that's not true.
But I also think in regards to millennials on this show, it's about the lead characters, at least, that are millennials, are about careerism and drive and goals and focus. And
freedom.
Yeah, and freedom. And that kind of, I think, you know, they're not lost on this show. These are young people who really know what they want and are not only going after it, but are succeeding with a fair amount, with a lot of work.
I think they're lost. They're just enough lost to where they're relatable. You know.
Right. Yeah.
But you're right. They are succeeding. They are working hard. They're fighting for what they deserve.
You especially.
You know, but
So are the non-millennials.
Yeah, Maggie.
A lot of fighting going on in the workplace for Diana
working
Trout.
hard. And also, Sutton, was it hard for you to get into the frame of mind of a millennial? I mean, usually you go back and forth because you're 40 and they're also pretending to be 26. But, like, what was the most challenging thing? Was it the language? Was it just the general cadence?
Well, I mean, and I had all of a sudden became the 42 or the 40-year-old who looked down and went, oh, I've had these jeans for about 10 years, and oh, I've been under a rock.
Yeah. What number?
for like 15 years, and like being able to work with people in their 20s and go, oh, hey, oh, this is what the young people are wearing. I had no idea. Oh, and we were in Brooklyn, and I always joke, there was one night we were up late filming, and there was literally like a guy playing a tuba and like a dude on a unicycle with like a mustache, and I'm like, oh, okay.
This is the world we live in now.
So it's been great. I feel like it's like keeping me up to date, but it's fun to play. What I enjoy is the fish out of water. So, you know, I'm not mastering the millennial speak. What's fun is to play a character who is really trying to figure it out. Right. So everyone's like, what have you learned? I'm like, I keep learning new stuff every day. Every time I do a script.
What have you learned from being a part of the show? I mean, I learned about the bad pancake. I never knew about that theory before, so thank you for that one. And like I told you, not to move to Roosevelt Island. What are some things that you guys have learned from this millennial heavy script?
One of my favorite things, just to give an example, is Kelsey and Liza are starting the season off at odds. Like, they're not.
Turmoil central.
And they have a big explosive fight. And one of the things that comes up is like about a meme, and that she really doesn't know what a meme is. And I'm like,
don't know.
She's like, I do.
I
don't either.
And I'm like, you don't. And she's like, I do. This is a meme. And I'm like, that's not a meme. She's like, what's not a meme about it? It is. And I'm like, you just know it when you see it. She's like, ah. It's like things like that you guys are so brilliant at writing.
Sort of discussions come out of our writers' room where we have writers in their 40s plus, writers in their 20s, and we're just sitting there like, what is a meme? What really is it? And they're trying to explain it to us, and we're just sort of like, okay, we still don't get what a meme is. And so we kind of we mirror the discussion in the writers' room that the characters are having on the show. Yeah, and I think we all learn, the older generation of writers are learning about the 20-something generation, and it's just like it's great. It's great for us because it's like a laboratory, in terms of just figuring this stuff out, and also I think we kind of like all live the show in a sense, in a real way that, I get to spend time with people in their 20s, and people in their 20s get to spend time with people in their 40s, and we all kind of learn from each other, and so it's kind of like that experience of actually doing the show kind of mirrors what the show's about.
Yeah, that's what it's been really eye-opening and amazing to be able to, our coworkers we're of completely different generations, but I think we've learned to really appreciate one another, and I've learned so much from working with the youngins.
I also think that one of the things that's so beautiful about the show is that spectrum is exactly that spectrum of humor, where on the one end you have things. I mean, I'm always in Urban Dictionary. Yeah. I spend a lot of time there. Like half the script. I'm like, wait, okay, that's that thing. And then you have on the other end of the spectrum jokes about Jonathan Franzen and Chinua Achebe and Fitzgerald and Hemingway. And I love the fact that we have that spectrum of knowledge in the writers' room. It's just spectacular. So.
Yeah, I love Debbie's character. Maggie, who's an artist, and it's kind of like she has that classic cool in a sense. It's sort of like timeless in terms of, it's cool in every generation.
I was going to say, I learned the most from Maggie, Debbie, for sure. And you actually aren't a millennial on the show, but you are like hip to even Lauren's jive, which is impossible to keep up with.
I'm not a millennial on this show.
No.
I don't think so, no.
No.
What's great for me is that I get to be really cool when I go home because I get to borrow my clothes occasionally. And my teenagers now, I have teen daughters, and they think that I'm cooler, and I have to thank Darren and his writers for that. But yeah, it's great.
You have to thank me for being cool, Debbie.
Admit that we want to be Debbie. We all want to be Debbie. Yeah, that's just true.
Her character's gay and from New York City. That is where a lot of the millennial mindset came from in the first place.
And then also, speaking of your character, the sexual liberation of all the female characters on the show is amazing. But I have to say, Maggie, you take the cake.
Oh, I know.
Yes, you do.
She takes the cake and eats
it. Until this.
Oh, good. Wait. Are you guys pushing it even further?
A lot of fun. And what's great for me is I'm married, so I really get to live out all my fantasies on the show. It's wonderful.
Amen. What to date has been your favorite sex scene? I have to ask you. Because I'm telling you, I watch the show alone mostly, but sometimes my parents are now watching it, and we watch together, and I was like, I have to
You're asking me that question in front of one of my lovers.
I'm sorry. How rude, Lauren.
Hi. So I would have to say, we've had some beautiful scenes together, but this upcoming season, I have some really fun stuff. I can't reveal it.
With Molly's character again?
No.
Oh.
I'm a slut this season.
Oh, because you haven't been in all
So yeah,
before.
no, I've got a couple of new really hot women.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of the greatest things about the show is just the spectrum of sexuality too. I mean,
Yes.
Lauren's character is one of the only positive representations of bisexuality on all of television.
Yep.
And thank you for that.
And Lauren, how has that been to play? Do you feel like responsibility?
Yeah, I think I feel a great responsibility. It's important that Lauren loves herself unconditionally. I think the portrayal of Lauren's parents, that they're so supportive of her sexuality, that her best friend doesn't give an F, and it's no one bats an eye that Lauren is the way she is.
Right.
That's
And that
great about it.
she's still figuring it out too. She doesn't have the answers.
Yeah, a lot of this season is her figuring it out,
Yeah.
and I think it's that is.
Are you figuring it out, or are you just living it? Because you don't really seem like you.
I think this season I think there are some moments where she struggles to figure it out, and I actually think that is, I'm very happy that the writers' room gave that to that bisexual character who now gets to go through a journey, in front of.
Good, because last we checked in, you were with Max, and so, I mean, is he gone?
He's there, and then maybe he's also not there.
Oh, look at that. Okay, I like how you roll.
But he's there.
Yeah.
I think those two. I think living it and figuring it out. That's the same thing.
It's, yeah,
It's someone.
there. You live it. You figure it out while you're living it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's
it's
really
the only way to figure it out.
What it means to be a millennial too.
Yeah. Or a person. Or a person.
But I just think like sometimes the writers will start off maybe like making light of or really sort of showing the satire of something or some trend or something that is in the zeitgeist, and it'll be very funny and very humorous, and eventually they get to the Tootsie Roll center of it, and it becomes like a real thing that they're actually talking about. And that happens over and over again in the show, where you're like, you're having this delightful confection of a time and just watching it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, hey, that actually is completely relevant to my life, to what I'm going through, to what the world's going through, to what this country's going through.
Yes.
And it's so lovely because it feels kind of effortless, and then it just happens and it comes out of the characters and the stories. Good job.
Since
Good job.
Since you said zeitgeist, I'll quote Rilke, and he has this beautiful thing in his letters to a young poet, and he says he wrote advice to a young poet,
I really read it.
And he said, live your questions. And maybe someday slowly, you will live your way into an answer.
Wow.
And that's what is just is everybody's journey.
Option that.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like a good book.
Call him.
And the show really is, I have to say, as funny as it is and entertaining, it's very inspiring. Do you think that the show is going to actually change the way generations live their life?
It already is.
One of the things that I think is most beautiful on the show, and it goes back to how well Darren writes women.
Yes.
He not only women but female relationships, and female friendship on this show is so central and so beautiful and so and portrayed without cynicism. And I think that the show in general, it has, and this is a little bit of a hackneyed word, but there's an earnestness makes it sound too heavy. That's not quite the right word, but there is a sort of a rejection of cynicism, and I really like that. There's authentic friendship, authentic loyalty, authentic just being there for each other, and that's a refreshing thing to watch, be a part of, and explore.
Like comedy's lately gone to a snarky place for so long, and like to me, this show's a throwback to like the romantic comedies that I loved.
What are some of your favorite?
Like Woody Allen, probably my most favorite. But I mean, even if you're just thinking about like classic romantic, like Nora Ephron, and I just feel like the romantic comedy is sort of, for the most part, gone from the movie theaters. They're not making those big romantic comedies anymore. So I think it's, in a way, TV is like picked it up. And I mean, this show I think is at heart it's a romantic comedy, but it's not. I feel like there's a lot of comedy out there that is very cynical, and I felt like it was just kind of refreshing to do something that wasn't sort of like based in cynicism.
I like, and you were saying did it influence other people watching it, but I actually think it is influenced by people and just reflecting it back to them, because I feel like oftentimes TV just can reflect the same thing over and over again and make us think like, oh, I guess women are just catty to each other. Right. I guess women just do that, when you know in your own life that that's not true about my female relationships, and you just don't see that reflected. And so I feel like it's just kind of holding up a mirror that doesn't usually get held up as much.
And this is also just in terms of holding a mirror up to the world. One of the things that we all thought was so deftly done was, we are living in a time and in a world where the very question of truth has been called into question.
Yeah,
like not only is lying good, is lying bad, but the cover of Time magazine, is truth dead? That's a really significant cover of a national magazine, and the we keep going back to the writers, but in this season, it is so elegantly woven in a not heavy-handed but light, and yet very insightful and extremely funny and beautiful way, just to reflect this incredibly strange and lots of other adjectives moment in our country. It's and just in terms of just again that the show really reflects a moment, and you somehow have this uncanny ability to do that.
Caught up to the show, in a way, the Times.
It just kind of worked out that way.
Basically went and sped past the show. It's like
I guess they're catching up to it. Well, it's just done so perfectly. I mean, the show it's amazing. It sounds cheesy. I laugh with it. I cry with it. It really is. It's no wonder it's such a hit.
And the first 3 seasons on Hulu now.
Yes, check it out. And also, when did you guys know that it was a bona fide hit? What was that defining moment for you?
I just saw a truck with like a ginormous picture of my face on it parked in my neighborhood, and I was like, is someone messing with me?
I had that done. Just
like I was like, are the PR people like, let's make her insane? Because it's really the creepiest thing ever. So
Is that the promos this year? The face pictures?
Just big old faces.
I haven't seen
real big, like real big.
That's what you guys. That's what you want when you wake up in the morning.
Just your face. Yeah, right on the park.
Darren, when did you think?
I feel like you never really know. I think it's when people start talking about it and are excited about it. Do you run into people who are like, you tell them what you're doing, like, I love that show, or I'm watching that show.
Season 3.
Yeah, you think that's when it happened in season 3?
I think it happened in season 3.
And I actually feel like it hasn't really. I think it's still happening. I think the big audience for the show is yet to find it, and I think they will.
So too. Now that we're on Hulu, it's going to have a big life.
Yeah, and also the fans are incredible, and a huge credit to the success of the show.
Guys actually come up to us and they're like, "Oh my God, I gotta tell you, I watched the show."
Yes, it's like a secret.
And it's fantastic. I take the subway every day. I love the train, and it's like people talk to me every day about Younger.
Really, what do they say?
They relate to the ageism. They relate to the sexuality. I have a big lesbian following.
Yes.
And they just think that the men are really hot, and Sutton Foster's a goddess, and they tell me her entire career. I literally
you're like, I know it. She's one Tony. It's like we know.
Sit down next to me and go like, oh my God, and they go through every single show, their favorite part of it, your legs, your vocal range. Can I say hi? I always forget when I come to work, but it's amazing. And then the Hillary Duff factor. Oh my God, everybody's in love with Hillary Duff. What is she like? It's incredible. It's great.
Anyway, all the fans should know that everyone that they're just going fan crazy over in this show is actually the most delightful human being.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, when, I don't know, you feel like, oh, you should probably be insane by now and like a lunatic and throwing things at people. Right. And instead, just lovely, delightful, real, down-to-earth, great people to hang out with all day.
Nico,
clothes are coming off more often.
Nico,
it's okay with everyone.
Nico's naked right now.
I actually don't have any clothes on.
I need to hear about some fan interaction with you. I mean,
say that again.
I need to hear about some fan interaction with you. I mean, like whether it's Twitter or Instagram, craziest thing that's happened. People are obsessed with you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So like a month ago, I get this comment on an Instagram post that's like, hey, I have to talk to you about a dog. Check your DMs. And so I open up my DMs, and this girl had a couple dogs. She was living in the city, and she couldn't take care of both of them, I guess. And she was like, I'm super spiritual, and I feel like one of these dogs is your dog.
What?
I was like, what do you mean? Send me a picture. And she sent me a picture of this 2.5-pound little miniature teacup chihuahua, long hair, and it was absolutely my dog.
You know what? I got hoaxed into getting my son a guinea pig, and I'm going to reach out to Nico on Instagram and be like, I don't know why, but the guinea pig is actually meant for you.
No, but I met her in the park a week later, and now the dog is my dog.
What a love story.
I have a dog named Son now, yeah.
He's going to have a guinea pig soon, too. Nate Palmer.
To me with Grindr.
Amazing.
Wait, how?
I'm kidding.
And then also, let's get some Team Charles love in here too. I'm sure you're even getting some of that on social media.
I have not a single pet animal, guinea pig, dog. I got slapped. I got whacked on the Upper West Side. I was right after I finally kissed Liza at the end of one
at the store.
No, at the end of season 2, and this woman was pushing her laundry cart, and she was easily 400 years old, and she's going up the sidewalk, and then she saw me, and she left her little laundry cart, and she walked over, and she goes whap, and smacked me on the arm. She's like, took you long enough. So Nico, that's what I get. All right, I get no dogs. But I'm also not on Instagram, so maybe if I went on Instagram, I would get a puppy.
I know, I tried to find you. Couldn't find you. And also, guys, this season, again, I don't want to give too much away. For this live audience, by this time, everybody will have already seen the first episode of season 4. But it's in turmoil, which we haven't really experienced that much on the show. So how has that affected your relationships? I mean, like...
Homer on the show.
In every facet of life.
It was hard for Hillary and I to film the first couple episodes because...
You guys be fighting.
We'd be fighting.
Yeah.
And we were like, I was like, make it stop. Like, it was really
Kelsey
awful.
was mean.
Kelsey was like... But deservedly so to Liza. Liza needed to be like, a little bit.
But you think, okay, so Molly, do you think Lauren would have been that upset by finding out?
I think Lauren already knows. So Lauren either already knows, or when she finds out, she's going to be like, yes, queen. Yes, what face cream are you using?
Exactly.
Who does your Botox? She's going to love it. I think Lauren will be like, you will be her hero.
Mm-hmm. No, but I think the idea is it's feeling betrayed by somebody you love. Right?
Yes.
I think that's the bottom line. It's like it's not that it's not whether the lie is a big lie or a small lie. It's just the idea of somebody representing themselves differently than who they are to someone that you really love, and have become a good friend.
Also, why Kelsey's been so understanding with her.
Yes.
I think she's like, why would you think I wouldn't accept this from you? Now it's cheapened all of our experiences, right? Like, I think if she had told her right away, she feels ashamed.
Stop crying. It's gonna be okay. I'll get a tissue.
I'm worried about Liza, and I just don't know if she's going to make it.
I like that there are consequences for your actions, and I that's what I respect about the writing so much, is that it doesn't let Liza off the hook.
No.
It's like, when you make these choices, and maybe they're interesting and wild choices for your life, but they actually have consequences. And what's that like? What's that experience?
Yeah, but seriously, Kelsey's revenge is no effing joke.
No, I know.
So
I know, making her binge drink being one of them is so crazy, and I felt like I was hazing her in college. It was so bad. And we have this joke all the time because she has, we're not giving too much away, but she has a little throw-up episode because I make her drink so much. And she comes up to me and tugs on my shoulder, and she's like, Kelsey, I boffed. And I'm like, get it together. Come on, we're here with on business, blah, blah, blah. Like, look at everybody else. And I'm like, boot and rally. And she's like, no, don't boot and go home. And so now we always, we'll be, working till 2 in the morning, and we're like, boot and go home. I boffed.
Okay, guys, we need to take another quick break, but when we get back, we're going to actually hear some live studio audience questions. Yes. Don't go anywhere. Back in a little bit.
You're listening to the Younger Town Hall. With host Taylor Streckor.
Hi, I'm Perry Peltz.
Hey, I'm Maria Menounos.
This is Jenny Hutt. We want listeners to think about the issues that are impacting women, and we want to hear your thoughts.
I love sharing our stories together.
The fact that you share with us is what the channel's all about. This is SiriusXM Stars.
Now, back to a SiriusXM Town Hall with the cast of Younger. Here's your host, Taylor Streckor.
Hey guys, I'm Taylor Streckor, and I am here with the entire cast of Younger. Lucky me. Hey guys. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but we talked about how important the audience is and the fan base is. So we actually have a live studio audience here right now of SiriusXM subscribers. And we have some people that would love to ask you guys some questions. So let's get down to it. Let's start with Justin Cohen.
Hi, thank you. My question is for Sutton. How is appearing on a regularly televised program similar to or different from live theater?
Oh. I know it's in many ways. In many ways, it's a lot easier. I'm new to television. I've primarily done theater for about 20 years of my life, and so TV was a sort of a new step for me. And I feel like I've just learned so much.
I think you figured it out.
I think I've. Thank you. It took a while, but it's just a different pace. Like theater's like a roller coaster. You know, the highs are like so high, and the lows are low, or can be very low. And TV feels sort of steady going throughout the whole day. It's just it's a totally different pace of the day, but it's still in the end, it's all about creating characters and relationships and telling stories. And in television, you get to play a character that evolves and grows and goes beyond. You don't keep doing the same thing every day. So they're different. I hope to be able to do both, for as long as I am alive.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. Okay, next we have Jen Greenspoon. Good last name.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
My question is for Hillary. And do you think that Lizzie McGuire and Kelsey would ever be friends?
Yes, I do think they'd be really good friends. I think that Kelsey's probably a little more advanced than, or has advanced in her career more than Lizzie would have. I think she's still like someone's assistant, like knocking things over and spilling coffee everywhere. But yeah, I think they would be friends, and I think they're both really good girls who have a lot of strength and a lot of like loyalty and a relatability factor that is like undeniable.
Thank you.
Couldn't Kelsey totally just be Lizzie grown up?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. What's the hesitation? I want to know the difference.
What would the difference be? Gordo. I don't think Lizzie would be as cool, mm-hmm. and as independent as much of a boss as
she'd live in San Francisco.
Kelsey. You think? San Fran? Yeah.
Pacific Northwest somewhere.
I don't think Lizzie's got it together yet.
I was saying, Nico, are you a fan of Lizzie McGuire? You're breaking down every single season and her evolution. Oh, I love it. Okay, next up is Leah Cohen.
Hi, my question's for Sutton. So who is the better kisser, Nico or Peter?
And they're their questions. We can give them to her.
The answer is Debbie.
They are both delightful. It's my job is horrible.
Speaking of Debbie and Liza, wait a second. Would you guys have you ever kissed
No.
in your friendship? Never? Nothing? Never?
No, we're like best friends.
Best friends.
Yeah.
Sorry to go down that path. I just got curious for a second. I was feeling the fluidity.
Unheard of.
It's like incest. That makes sense.
And then we'd have to break up, and then she'd have to move out, and then I wouldn't have a job. So don't make that happen.
And then who would encourage her to keep lying? Okay, Robin Brown.
My question is for Miriam, Debbie, and Molly. How do people react to you in public based on your character's personality?
So no one recognizes me ever in public because I'm basically in drag when I'm Diana and out of drag when I'm Miriam. So, but usually they're like, I want to hang on the necklaces. Are you okay?
I was considering the necklaces.
Is this hurting? Do you have a bad back? So I get that a lot. And then they talk about a boss who they had that was similar to Diana. Almost every time someone's like, oh my God, I worked for this, and you're like, I am so sorry.
Miriam, did you ever work for Diana?
No.
You looked right at Darren.
No, never. No, I never have. And Darren Star is the opposite. All the good aspects of Diana. But no, I haven't.
I don't think she's referring to me.
No, I was kidding. But I never have. And so it's so shocking to me because I work in cuckoo crazy Hollywood land, so you'd think. I mean, I would definitely work with crazies.
Right.
Peter Herman. But no, never anyone who was so self-involved and treated me like that. I think I would have to laugh and be like, really? No.
Right?
You're kidding, right?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But everybody I know and people in my family people come up to me with stories all the time about it.
Well, you play her very well.
Thank you.
We love to be terrified of her. Debbie, people responding to your character.
Well, people respond to different characters that I play on a daily basis, and it tells me more about them than it really about like my character, because I get like the random, like, certain people like Maggie or certain people like Entourage or whatever, and it's always really interesting when I meet somebody like, oh my God, I loved you in such and such thing, and you like, yeah, okay, you're one of those type of people.
What does it mean? Wait. What does it mean if I say I loved you in Goodfellas?
I get a lot of that. I live in Brooklyn. I get a lot of the Goodfellas thing.
You don't think I'm like a
drug runner, right? They think I'm one of them. Like, they think I'm in the mob. Like, I've been invited to, like...
You aren't? We're not supposed to talk about that.
Mob, right? We don't
because we can't talk about it.
But with Maggie, I get a lot of really positive stuff. Just, supportive friend, sexy. Wow, you're living your life. I love your clothes. Yeah, I get great stuff.
Also, as a woman,
makes me feel strong.
As a woman who dates another woman, you are very much a role model to me. So thank you.
Oh, you just outed yourself.
I did, girl.
It.
I did. And I was married to a man. We'll get to know each other better over the course of the next few weeks.
Oh, she's pitching herself. See?
Yeah, I got a shock face from Molly, which now I'm like, oh my God, did I out Lauren? Molly?
Are you not? Are you the no? You have a boyfriend, right? Currently.
Yeah, currently. But I love when women are married to men and then they're like, actually, this isn't interesting to me. Yeah. I want her.
Yep.
I think that like sexuality is so fluid, and marriage can be such a it can be a good trap, it can be a bad trap, it can be you can be stuck, and we evolve over the course of our lives, and like I love that. I know a lot of my friends were previously straight and have found other avenues, and I love it. I respect it.
It's also, as a woman who dates, married, but we still date. We try to keep it fresh. A man, I'm also inspired by Maggie, because just a strong woman owning her own sexuality, her own desire, and her own choices is so great to see. You know.
Speaking of, we get to become friends in this
that's all we can
season.
Say.
Really? What
dream come true?
You guys,
we've been wanting to do a thing.
I've never met her until season 4.
I will answer your question with you gotta watch to see.
Hi, and then also.
She gets her to answer her.
Yes, Molly. So, what do you? How do people respond to your character when you meet them?
I didn't know. People are always like, "Oh my God, you're so funny! You're so funny!" But I'd really have to say this. One time, I was walking down Fifth Avenue. I was on my way to Marina Abramovic's 70th birthday party. No big deal.
Just
drop that one.
Pick that name right up.
5 points for that one. 5 points.
Let me
I think Yale's down there too.
Anyways, I was on my way to Marina's birthday party, and this doorman on right by the Met was like, oh my, a doorman, okay, from probably New Jersey in his 40s. Oh my God, it's Molly Bernard. I was like, who the fuck is playing this joke on me? What kind of sick joke is this? This is demented. And I was like, ha ha, hi. And he was like, oh my God, you're pretty too. Oh, you're short in real life. You're pretty. And kept repeating all this stuff. And I was running because I was running late to meet my friend to go to Marina's party. And honestly, I still am so weirded out by that one moment in my life because I don't know what he felt about my character or me or the show because there was so much going on, but no one has ever screamed my name before. It was bizarre.
Oh, you guys, I can't believe it, but we're out of time. And I've so many. We didn't get to Marie's Crisis, my favorite place in all of New York City. How the hell did you film there? Because it's against the law of Marie's Crisis.
How lucky were we to get in there?
It was the greatest night.
Yeah.
Can we drinks on me? I'll take you all out. We'll sing. We'll get beyond shit based on whatever.
We're perfect.
Yes.
We're gonna see you tomorrow night. You're gonna host our after show.
I will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Okay, so you guys make sure, by the way, to check out Younger. It is Wednesdays, TV Land, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and we're gonna be having a Facebook Live after show called Getting Younger, hosted by moi. And you guys, yes, that's going to be right after Younger every single Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So come over to Younger TV on Facebook for that. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. You're amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for our live studio